Thanks for joining us today as we take a look at an alternative method used to create springs inside of SOLIDWORKS. And let's go ahead and get started. So if you're like myself, when you've had to create a spring before, you would start off with a helix and then go ahead and go crazy creating your spring. Well, there's a downside to that in that it has to be along a linear path, like such. In my case, what I'm going to use, I'm going to create two different sketches. One, I'm just going to create the path that I want the spring to follow. And my second sketch is going to go ahead and be the profile of my spring. So in this case here, I'm just going to draw a circle with a line. I'm not going to worry about dimensions, placing any of that. You get the point here. Just shrink that up a little bit. And as you can probably guess where I'm going with this, I have a profile and a path. So I'm going to go up to my Sweep Base command, pick my profile and path. And one thing people don't go into really are these options here. If I click the pull down for options, it's usually on follow path by default. I can come down and pick twist along path. From there I'm going to pick turns. As I increase the number here, you can see what's happening. I actually create my spring just like that in a matter of seconds. Now I mentioned earlier that using a helix has a downside to it. So I'm just going to come back in, edit my path, and let's go ahead, add a curve here. And maybe another leg off the end. I'm going to click OK. And now my spring is actually going and following that curve. Let's bump this up a little more and make it look realistic. So here's the advantage to overusing a helix. I can go around curves like this if I need to for whatever the reason be. Now, I can take this a step further. I can actually go into an assembly here, create this profile and path in context of these two blocks, where if I take a look, I have a distance mate here. I'm going to come in and do the same thing. Go to my Sweep Boss, profile path, twist along path, and we'll just give it a bunch of turns here. Like so. Now, because I did this in context, when I drag this down, nothing happens. I have to rebuild, and my spring is automatically going to size based on it. So I won't do it unless I hit rebuild here. Once I hit rebuild, it updates. So if you ever need to make a spring for anything, don't always think you have to use a helix. Feel free to use the sweep command. Thanks for joining us today, and hope you get some use out of this little tip.